Also, I did 2 community pots and a single pot here with a trio. I have not placed any. There's that fungus gnat fly again. Good day everyone, welcome to Cactus Caffeine. My name is Anna. In this channel I share with you my passion for growing cactus and other desert plants in a desert environment over a cup of coffee. For today we are going to be transplanting some cactus seedlings. So this is an Echinocereus rigidissimus. This is about 1 year old. So as you can see, it is so desperate to come out of its pot, so it is tightly packed. This is what happens if you don't trust that your seeds will germinate. Yes, so this is about 1 year old, and for reference I also have here some more of the same type of cactus. So this is 1 year old. This is a little over 2 years old. So at 2 years old, the red spines are starting to show up, as you can see in here. And then if they are mature and fully grown, this is how they will look like. Okay, so this is a fully grown mature Echinocereus reichenbachii. So these are already flowering sizes. This is flowered already several times. In here, I think only one. I think this is the only one that has flowered last year, but the 2 other hasn't yet. So, but these are flowering sizes now. So in comparison, see, these are the seedlings, and this is how they will look like when they grow up. Okay, so for today, as I've said, we are going to free up this seedlings. So no, I don't advise you to plant as much seeds as I did in this pot. If the seedlings are slow growing, I could even leave them in their original, sowing pot for even up to 2 years. But as for this one, as you can see, some are already dying back. So the little ones that couldn't, they're fighting for light and for space. So the little ones that couldn't make it are already dying back. I could see some little seedlings already dead in the middle. So this is it's about time for these seedlings to be freed. Ow, these seedlings already bite. Trying to do this without gloves so I can handle the roots better. The seedlings already bite. There you go. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, plenty of fruits underneath. Very nice. So I am going to start trying to separate these seedlings. Okay, so I'm just trying to gently tease the soil because I don't want to break so much roots in the process. My gosh, why did I do this? But just for fun, why don't you guys make a guess on how many are in this clump right here? So go ahead and go in the comment section down below. Make a guess, guys. How many do you think are in here? 10, 20, 30? I doubt. But we'll see. And maybe at the end of this video, when I separate all of this, then I will reveal the exact count of how many are in here. Okay, so go ahead in the description, make your guess. How many seedlings do you think I have in here? It was in a 2-inch pot. So just in case you're wondering, I sowed this in a 2-inch pot. Okay, so this process is really tedious, but for me, I don't mind. It's very relaxing for me to do this. Okay, so I'm just trying to rub off the soil so I can free them up. I won't be able to free this up one by one immediately, so I might have to do it in like small clusters first before I can free it up one by one. So this cactus is one of my favorite cactus, guys. If you're going to ask me what is my favorite cactus, I would say this is in my top, maybe top 3. I haven't decided yet what my favorite cactus are. I love them all. There's so many, but this definitely, every time I would think about it, this is always in my mind. So this is definitely in my top 3. So this is one of my favorite because whether it is in flower or not, the cactus itself is so beautiful. See that color? So it is so attractive. So not many cactus, you know, can be used as an ornamental plant, but I think this one is. So even without flowers, it is very beautiful. But when they flower, oh wow. The flowers are big. They're magenta colored. And they would last for several days. Like they would open and close for about, here it lasts for about 4 days for me, but it is very hot here, so in the desert they don't really last very long. But if you live in a more temperate environment, I'm sure the flowers will last even longer. So they will open and close all throughout the day. They would open in the morning, and then at nighttime they would close, and then the next day they would open up again. Okay, so I am able to free up some clumps. Okay, so I'm just trying to be very careful not to break so much roots or too many roots, but can't help it, it will happen. So I'm just trying to minimize root breakage. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 clumps. So after breaking it in clumps, I'm just gonna keep doing it, breaking it into smaller ones. See, there's one in here. There's one in here, seedling, that did not make it. It's too tiny. Didn't have enough sun maybe, or space. See, it just rotted on top or died back. That is why I needed to free this up right away. Normally, when I plant seeds or sow seeds, I would only plant about 20 seeds in a 2-inch pot. I don't know why I did so much more in this one. Like I said, maybe I did not trust that my seedlings would have a very good germination rate, but they did. The seeds of this came from my own plants. So I pollinated the flowers of my rainbow hedgehogs, and fortunately they developed fruits, and I was able to gather seeds from them, and this is them now. Even for this one, these are all from my plants as well. Okay, and by the way, I did make a care video, a complete care video just for this type of plant. So if you haven't seen that, I will put a link on this screen or in the description of this video below, and you can watch it. So in that care video, I talked about more of this plant, you know, from its light requirement, its water requirements, and everything else about this cactus. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep doing this, separating them one by one. I might leave a few as a clump if they won't separate. We will see, but I will stop this video and get back to you when I am almost done. Finally, I am done separating them. I had to leave some as a clump because some have very little seedlings that still has small roots on them, very little roots. So I'm just gonna plant them as a clump for now and wait for them to grow up a little more before I maybe separate them. We will see. But the big ones, I was able to separate them individually, and I just love how the roots are growing on them. Very long and very healthy roots. Yes, so now it is time to pot them up. I will not be potting them up separately or individually because I don't have that much pot. So I will be doing a community pot, just like what I did in here. But in the meantime, if you are interested on how I sow cactus from seeds, I did make a video about that, and I will put the link on the bottom of this video if you're interested to know or to learn how I sow cactus from seeds. It is time to pot up these seedlings right now. So I'm using just the cactus soil out of the bag, and I just added some more perlite to it. So this soil is rich. If I were to use this for like mature plants, this soil is actually too rich. But for seedlings, I prefer it to be this way because seedlings will want more moisture in the soil. So although I still added a little pumice to the soil to make it grittier, for mature cactus I normally will not use this kind of soil. I will add more pumice to it or lava rocks, anything that can make it grittier and drain better. But for seedlings, this is fine. And spring and summer is coming up. I don't want these seedlings to dry up too quick. And also, if you notice, I'm using plastic pot. I use plastic pots for seedlings, but for mature cacti, I prefer using terracotta pots. Like the one that I showed you earlier, the mature rainbow hedgehogs, they are in terracotta pots. Okay. These are usually found solitary. They don't usually form offsets, although they can, but they rarely form offsets. So propagation of this is really mainly by seeds. Okay, just adding more soil. And then I just always also like press down on my soil a little bit because cactus soil is loose. And later on, as you keep watering this, they will settle down in the pot. And if you don't press it down a little bit, in a few months from now, you will see that your cactus seeds will be sinking in the pot. So when I use cactus soil and when I'm planting, I always try to just lightly press down the soil a bit. This is also a freshly opened bag, so the soil is moist. So I think I will not be watering this right away. So if the soil is dry, if I use dry soil, then yes, I will be watering this right away. But since the soil is damp, I think I will withhold watering for. I would just eyeball it. Maybe after 3 days, if the soil is dry, I can give this another water. But as of now, I won't. I will leave it as is. Okay, little more soil here. You also would normally want to do transplanting of your seedlings during spring or summer when the weather is warmer. and our temperature is very moderate now. Plus, these seedlings, I don't think I mentioned it earlier, these are being grown under grow lights inside my house. So it did not really experience winter dormancy. I kept them warm and I had grow lights on them for about 8 hours every day. So they continued to grow. And after I plant this, I will still keep them inside the house until, our weather constantly stays warm. Okay, I think that is enough. Maybe one tiny one more in here. I am now in my second community pot. This is the first one right here, all done. And the sun is really coming out now. Okay, right there. So let's see. This second community pot has more of the clumps, so I'm trying not to crowd them too much or plant them too close together, just to give the clumps time to, or enough space to grow. And like this other one, this has more of the individual ones and a few clumps, but this one, this and this are all clumps, and then I have another clump in here. So I'll try not to plant them too close to each other. So I'm giving this pot maybe a year or two before I would need to move them again to a bigger pot. We'll see how fast they grow. Okay, and in the soil, if you're sometimes when I plant seedlings, I would add slow release fertilizer, like a few beads or granules in the soil. But then this bag of soil that I opened, it already has some slow release fertilizer in it, plus worm casting, so I will not add any more slow release fertilizer to this. But sometimes I would buy a cactus soil with no added fertilizer to it, then that's the time I would add slow release fertilizer to the seedlings. Alright, so I have one more. Okay, I will just put this back where in the pot where I sowed the seedlings. So I will have one clump just for this pot. Let's see if it grows faster than the ones in the community pot, since this has more room to grow. So there's a trio in this. All done now. So I made 2 community pots in a single pot here with a trio. I haven't placed any top dressing yet because I want to wait until maybe after 2 or 3 waterings until the soil settles down, and that would tell me if I need to add more soil before I add top dressing on this one. And like I promised, I made you guys guess how many seedlings do I have in that pot earlier. So I counted. There are 44 live seedlings and there were 5 that did not make it. So 44 are alive and 5 did not make it. So that makes 49. Did you guess it right? Congratulations if you did. Alright, so until next time again, guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like cactus and other desert plants. And I'll talk to you again next time. Bye everyone, and cheers!